Hello, boomers! What's up, everybody? SkullCrusher here, and yes, we are coming right back at you with another Boom Beach video. And I'm actually very happy to discuss a new troop deployment strategy. Shout out and compliments to Shiskabobber and Opdestroy because this attack strategy was first discussed, discovered, practiced, put into place, whatever you want to call it, on Opdestroy's stream. 50% defensive building damage on rocket launchers. It was a good stream from a couple days ago. I highly recommend you go watch it, guys. We're going to jump into some replays here to pretty much show you that you could still stand your ground and fight back against 50-50 players. For those of you unsure of 50-50 players, it is players that are rocking 50% building damage and 50% building health. Defensive building damage, defensive building health. It does make it a much more difficult to approach these bases, but with a new approach, with a new late delayed drop, you yourself can be successful. And I'm going to show you some replays here in which I was successful, not only against 50-50 players, but against another 7 ER opponent as well, who was rocking that building damage. What's up, guys? We are going to jump into some of the insanity here, and I'm actually very, very excited to show you some of these replays here. And my last 10 battles actually showing in my Warship event log is 6 wins, 3 losses, 1 draw. If I can keep that up, where essentially I'm doubling my wins to my losses, woo! We are flying here, guys, but nonetheless, we'll get into that when we stream later. I'm going to show you a replay here against Wujaz. So, of course, that was a victory on time. I was 16 seconds the victor here. We're going to jump in so I can show you the replay here. Now, I'm going to pause it just for 1 second here, because first off, I want to point out that this player did not have building health. I was able to BART out the Shock Blaster at the beginning, so no building health does make this deployment that much easier. This deployment is meant for those 50-50 players going up against players with a compact layout with 50% defensive building damage and 50% defensive building health here. So all right, guys, check this out. It all comes down to the deployment here. So we're actually going to slow this down to times 1.5 here, because I really want you to get the gist of it, guys. Essentially, it comes down to 1 boat of riflemen being dropped at the top, and you can either drop them in the same spot or vertical stagger drop, which is 1 flag in a straight line directly behind the other, descending there. 1 boat rifleman, and then 4 boats of grenadiers. Bombardiers, I'm sorry, guys. And of course, as that's going on, you can see we were able to successfully BART out that Shock Blaster, which does show that there was not 50% building health on this. So about 10 seconds later, we go in with the second deployment of riflemen, and that's at the exact same spot. And then you can wait anywhere between 8 to 10. It's probably better to wait about 12 to 15 seconds to drop the next deployment of riflemen here. As you can see, we are starting to get a full, straight, staggered line of riflemen here. About 10 seconds later, we've got that last deployment of riflemen coming in right now, and essentially we've got riflemen at the front line. We've got Kavan activating second wind to reinforce that very thinned out meat shield. But then if you pay attention back here, we have a constant, and I mean constant, reinforcement of riflemen. And this is where this comes in handy, because essentially your riflemen are acting as your fodder. When you're using rifle gramps, it is your gramps, your bombadiddles, that will get the job done for you. And having a deployment like this, you can see how the riflemen will naturally start to change direction as the front line destroys defenses. So they're no longer targeting that closest defense to them. They're starting to shift and go to the next closest defense to them. So this also works very well to give you a strong, natural front line, natural path of the troops here. And as you can see, it's all about the bombadiddles here, guys. We are just crushing it. We've got that front line of riflemen. We're cycling our shocks accordingly. I just want you to get an understanding here how we still have riflemen that were deployed that are making their way to the front line here. Absolutely beautiful. Once you get to this point, guys, you've got to realize that it's going to come down to gunboat energy management. in the moment, you have to decide, will second win be the best option? Will shocking be the best option? Will a medkit be the best option? If you have the power of critters, will the power of critters be the best option? It's all about what you face in the moment here. As you can see, I'm cycling shocks accordingly. I think I do throw another critter box in here, but guys, we are just absolutely consuming here. Now keep in mind, this was a 50% building, defensive building damage player, no building health. There's the power of critters at the top rocket launcher right there, and the bombadiddles are still going to town here, guys. Look at that back line of bombadiddles. I know it's a little bit hard to see them, but we've got about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I think we've got all our bombadiddles still alive here. And at this point, guys, Hail Mary Flare! Go for it, guys. We've got a rocket launcher and a couple boom cannons here. Kavon's dead, but damage has been done, guys. We cycled a shock accordingly to pin down those 2 boom cannons and rocket launcher, and directly went for that Hail Mary Flare. And that was good enough for me to get the win, guys. So I wanted to do that in super slow motion just for you to get a good understanding of it. We will go back right now so we can watch that again, essentially at ×4, because you will kind of understand it just a little bit better here. Big shout out to Woojaz here. We're going to go back to my replay, and this is how you want to deploy when it comes down to defensive building damage players, 50-50 players in general. You will start to see a lot more of the compact layout, guys, and I mean that's all defenses, all engine rooms, very tightly bunched together, where you've got that concentrated defensive fire, single shot splash damage coming in all directions here. But look at this, guys. This is just absolutely beautiful. This is a work of art. Follow this new troop deployment strategy, and you yourself can start fighting back and standing your ground against the 50-50 players. No joke, guys. I seriously mean it. Alright, guys, I was getting a little bit worried there with the satellite, but nonetheless, guys, that was Woojaz there. And then we've got 2018, and once again, I don't know how I won this one, but this was the, oh, that was the ninja drop from yesterday, so we're not going to show that one, guys, because yesterday when I go, actually, we will show it again from yesterday, guys. I don't know how I won this one, but this was the ninja drop from yesterday. I believe this was another 50-50 player right here. That was an accidental deployment on the left here there with that boat of riflemen and bombadiddles there. As you can see, I still tried my best to follow the new troop deployment on the right tier there. And believe it or not, guys, we still made the best of it. For those of you that caught this on stream, holy crap, guys, I honestly can't believe we got the dub, but we did. Just beautiful. We lost Kavon, but it was enough for us to get 3 ERs, and my opponent did also only get 3 ERs, but it came down to damage, guys, and the ninja drop worked to my advantage right there. Absolutely love it, guys. Don't forget to leave a like and a thumbs up on this video for that win from yesterday against 2018, the ninja drop. But guys, now we're going to make our way right over here to my friend Okap here, my Russian friend. As you can see, 3-1. This was a 50-50 player here, and of course, this is how we ended, or this is almost how we ended the stream yesterday. We did end up getting a draw, but guys, look at this. Look at this deployment. I want you to pay attention, because it's generally going to be the same here. And notice how we didn't fire out the shock blaster. The fact that we didn't fire out the shock blaster is because this is a 50-50 player, and it would just be too much gunboat energy on my end to fire out a prototype here. So this is where you've got to use the drop, the troops, everything to your advantage. And look at this, guys. We are pushing in, bombadiddles in the back, just crushing it. This is where GBE management really comes into play. Shocking, using critters accordingly here. Power of critters on that ER right there, which was more than enough to finish it off, and they are still going on that RL right there. Big shout out to the power of critters, guys. It definitely does work in the moment there. So that was another good win right there, guys, all with the new troop deployment drop. So once again, guys, I lost against Course and Craven there. Big shout out to Course and Craven. Course is a very, very tough player here, and I even tried that drop here, and the only difference is I went up against 5 maxed rocket launchers here. So one thing that you will run into trouble here is when you do face max rocket launchers. So big shout out to Course here, because, you know, it did suck losing, but you are a very good player, my friend. Good choice going with the rocket launchers, maxing them out. It was just too much, even for that staggered drop of riflemen. And at this point, I was like, you know what? Let's try to drop 1 bolt of riflemen and bombadiddles on the right tier, or sorry, on the left tier. See if we can make the most of it. Not a chance, guys. Those rocket launchers are no joke, and I mean no joke. So big shout out to Course there. Guys, Craven got another good win there, but then we've got Zafar here, and this one, I believe, was a snake base. Oh, yes, it was. So there was no 4-4 here with Riflemen and Bombadiddles, guys. This was just my standard approach to the snake base. This was 50% defensive building damage, but no building health. And of course, Power of Critters taking out a Doom Cannon for me, taking out that top left ER, and just absolutely consuming everything in my path. So I am very confident when it comes to snake bases, guys. Hail Mary Flare, generally the last 2 ERs in the back there, and boom, goes the Dynamite. So that was another solid win right there, guys. We're going to follow up with Ali Z here. Once again, 3 ERs to 0. So another 50-50 player right here. Look at that actually, no, this was not yeah, this was a 50-50 player. I got excited, though, because I noticed that Ollie chose the boom cannons over the rocket launchers. If you count, you will actually notice there are 8 boom cannons and 3 rocket launchers. So I did use that to my advantage, where I actually did BART out a rocket launcher. And look at this, guys. Following the troop deployment strategy here, the new one, staggering that drop of riflemen, giving that constant reinforcement front line. Sorry, that constant reinforcement of riflemen making their way to the front line, guys, where the Bombadiddles are the ones that will deal the damage, making you go further and further, giving you that win. Keep in mind that I do have 50% troop damage and troop health, which does help here. And then, of course, guys, as we keep pushing forward, you've got a GBE management here. Do I second win? Do I shock? Do I critter? Do I medkit? Whatever works best for you. But look at this, guys. We were successful, I believe, in taking out a few more here, cycling shocks accordingly here. At this point, guys, I should have Hail Mary flared, but I played it safe. I cycled the shock, pinning down the boom cannon and the shock launcher, which was enough to give me the win there. No defenses in range of my Bombadiddles. Hail Mary flare, and another beautiful win against a 50-50 player right here, guys. I love it. So keep in mind that this new troop deployment strategy does work, guys. And of course, yesterday I ended up doing 6 wins with 4 of them, 6 battles with 4 of them being wins and 2 of them being losses, guys, utilizing the new troop deployment strategy. Big shout out to Shiskabobber and Opdestroy. Thank you for breaking it down and showing it to us on Ops stream the other day. Guys, and this is where ship gets real here. I am very, very excited to show you this one, because not only did we go up against another 50-50 player, but we're going to wrap it up against a 7 ER opponent here. Big shout out to White, guys. Here we go. So 7 ER opponent, guys. I used the same troop deployment strategy, only I applied it just a little bit differently. Notice how I did it on the left tier here, directly in the middle. 1 boat rifleman, 4 boats of Gramps, Bombadiddles. As soon as that first boat of riflemen makes it to the top of the beach, second deployment of riflemen come out to play. As soon as that first rifleman makes the top of the tier of the beach there, the next boat of riflemen come out to play, and then it is just a matter of repeating the process here. As soon as the first rifleman reaches the top of the tier here, the next boat of riflemen come out to play. Look at that, guys. Absolutely beautiful here. I love watching this from an aerial view, from very high up, because then you can just really get a good idea of that staggered drop of riflemen, how you always have riflemen making their way to the front line, and that's what you need to give the Bombadiddles the time here. And guys, I couldn't believe that not only did we match against a 7 ER opponent, but we utilized the new troop deployment strategy, and we used it to our advantage here, applying it differently on the separate tier, but still utilizing it to our advantage here against a 7 ER opponent with 50-50. And of course, guys, the power of critters definitely coming in handy here, guys. I'm very happy to show you guys this win here. Just absolutely filthy, absolutely disgusting. I highly recommend that you yourself practice this drop if you haven't been doing it yet, guys. It works, it works, it works. And here I'm showing you it working against a 7 ER opponent here. Of course, at this point, it just comes down to the Bombadiddles. But you've got a GBE management, shock, critter, medkit. What's most important? What's going to come in handy? As you can see, guys, I've got shocks and I've got critters still being cycled. And look at this. At this point, I realized second wind would come in handy. We brought back 3 Bombadiddles, power of critters on that rocket launcher on the top left, and we just kept going, guys. 2 Bombadiddles at the bottom. We've got still a full back line of Bombadiddles pushing forward here, guys. This is absolutely disgusting. Big shout out to my 7 ER opponent, White, but this win right here put me at 5 for 5, 5 wins, 0 losses against 7 ER opponents, and I'm very, very happy to share this one with you guys in the video today. I'm telling you, utilize this new drop, this new troop deployment strategy, and you yourself can be successful against the dreaded 50-50 players. I know myself, I'm still about a day away from my building damage, and then let's not even talk about how long it's going to take for me to get my building health. But absolutely beautiful, guys. I'm going to show you that one more time in ×4 before we do wrap that up. But that was a 7 ER opponent in which we utilized the new troop deployment strategy. We just applied it differently on the separate tier here, and it still worked to our advantage, guys. We're going to zoom right up here so we can get right down to their level, just so you can kind of get a better understanding of what is going on here. Just absolute madness, guys. Bombadiddles, love them. Grenadiers, making a statement. But I am loyal to my Gramps here. Look at these guys go. 7 ERs? I don't think so. Boom! Goes the Dynamite, guys. Love seeing 3 zombie Bombadiddles in that. And it worked, guys. It worked, it worked, it worked. So I can't stress enough how this new drop, this new troop deployment strategy will work for you. And once again, guys, as a player that does not have building damage or building health, and I'll show you on my tech tree, we are still climbing to our building damage, and we are still that much further away from our building health. You've got to change your game plan. You've got to change your approach. Utilize the new troop deployment strategy against 50-50 players. Stand your ground, and you yourself can be victorious. Well, all right, boomers, do not forget to leave a thumbs up and leave a comment on today's video. For all you newer viewers watching, do not forget to crush that subscribe button, ring that bell, stay notified for when I go live and upload awesome Boom Beach content. I think it's finally time to make like a cruise. Make like a cruise? Come on, Skull. All right, guys, time to make like a Tom and cruise. Have a wonderful day, everyone. Peace!